OpenAI and Bing, continue to move forward. And, I think, was it, and just let me make sure I got this data right, Pat, but this week, basically Microsoft announced that the AI-powered Bing is an open preview now. So this means that, where you and I, because we have, we're insiders, we're able to get early access. We've been playing with this for some time now. People more broadly are going to be able to take advantage of this. There was some data that was revealed, because I think a lot of people are wondering, Bing is, I think, the third largest search engine, technically speaking. And that, the company obviously sees a $2 billion per 1% of market gain. That's what they shared on their finance day during their initial launch of the OpenAI partnership. So if Microsoft can go from single digit to, say, 20%, I think I calculated as something like a $26 billion a year annual financial opportunity for the company. That's pretty significant. But the problem with Bing, and Pat, you and I might differ in our opinions, is when I used Bing versus Google, at least in the traditional search days, it just didn't cut the mustard for me. It was not good enough in terms of being able to find what I needed to find. With OpenAI, with ChatGPT-4 being embedded inside of Bing, it did change the equation. So now the company came out talking a little bit about what this has meant for the organization. And they gave some data. I think they said that in the last 3 months, there's been over 500 million search queries in Bing. And that during this period of time, they've seen their growth in users hit over 100 million. And I believe I don't know that that's daily actives. That would be pretty remarkable if that's where it's at, but that's a really, really big growth rate for the company. The company has also been very focused on making Bing visual, meaning that Bing, and that's one thing right now, if you play with Bard, it does not do. It should, and it will. Pat, you and I were talking about how cool it will be when they integrate a YouTube engine to be able to ingest something like a podcast. But first and foremost, how can you do, more visual? So they're doing image and video with Bing right now. They're also, adding more and more multi-session. So meaning you can go back into your histories and continue conversations. That's something that's being added. And by the way, here's probably the third thing that's really interesting and that we haven't talked a lot about is, where does the developer fit into all this? For the last 3 or 4 years, have we talked about something as probably a great career opportunity more than developing? Like, if you can do something in your career, you should learn to code.
Yeah.
Coding will be the future. And as long as you know how to code, you'll always be employable. Boy, does that feel like a different conversation today. I'm not saying that being a great coder won't still have an opportunity, but with all the speech to code and the capabilities that are being discussed right now, even if it doesn't work today, how long of a horizon do we really have before the speech to code or the augmented code that's being done with natural language processing through these large language models becomes really, really good? And I don't know if you've read across the internet yet, Pat, but some really good coders have written some stuff. I've read some Substacks and other things that they're using this. So, where it used to be GitHub and you were sharing open source and, nobody codes anything from scratch anymore. That's kind of the thing. And now you're taking things that are already sort of pre-built and you're then adding Copilot, and then you're adding, the capability for large language models and generative. We're going to build tools really, really fast, and it's going to happen really quick. I wrote an article on it. It'll post today on the Futurum Research blog. And by the way, I wrote it with GPT-4. I dictated some notes after I read the release with all the data, and I pushed it through GPT-4. And then I took it live because, I don't know, I'm a bot now. What the hell? All right, Pat, over to you.
I use Microsoft Bing and Edge AI features every day. And Daniel, you were right when you first said it is in fact 100 million daily active users. Okay, which is pretty incredible. 2 big messages here. First of all, opening this up to everybody and open. I mean, it's literally open. Anybody can get access to this. You don't have to be on a list. That in itself shows the degree of maturity. And the only reason they're calling it a preview is because it's not perfect. And preview allows them, if they see somebody, pulls up something that's just wrong, it'll probably be preview for a long time. That's just my guess, to be conservative. What I really liked about this, it hits some of the things, some of the snags in my own experience, and not that it's all about me, Daniel, but sometimes it's about me. And I do think that being an active user of this technology, I have higher bar for that. So first of all, the edge helper that's out there just didn't cut it for summarizing documents for me. Now it works better with PDFs. It works better with websites. And I saw it actually will work with YouTube video links. And I am so excited. And I think people are going to be so excited to use this. They also integrated images into, used to have to do separate image versus text, but now you're going to be getting image results back, which again, it's simplification, right? People don't, necessarily want to go to a separate place in text versus imagery. So, anyways, net, I think we have to use this announcement. At least I am, that Microsoft is in the lead with consumers on this. Not that Google won't catch up, but when you open it up to the planet and the other company hasn't, what are you going to say, right? It's just a fact, not even necessarily opinion. So I love this drag race. It's all about innovation. Innovation is good. Innovation lowers costs. Innovation increases capabilities. And we have an amazing race here in consumer. And directly, this is consumer, not commercial. I am doubly excited to see. I want to use Office 365 with generative AI.